Hi, I'm Tools-Callen Berardi, and I am in the 500 section of Strathmore Elementary School Media Center. And I was looking in the science section of uh, genetics, and I found two books, and this one, called The Miracle of Genetics, is, I look at it, it's still in good condition, but immediately I see that the cover seems kind of outdated, and then also the checkout date, it hasn't been checked out in 13 years. It's from 2000. So that clearly means it is not attracting students' attention. I open it up and look and see that the copyright date is 1986, so it does not meet the criteria in the sciences of being within at least 5 years. So I wanted to check and see if the information itself was outdated. And so, goes through the basics of genetics, but it also has a lot of texts on the page, a lot of words. And this is a school for 3rd through 5th graders, and they do like to look at pictures, and they also really like text features, where it kind of chunks the information, and many would be intimidated by all of these words. It also talks about cloning animals, and according to this, the only animal that's ever been, the only thing that's ever been cloned was frogs, so Dolly hadn't even existed yet. It talks about genetics in humans, but in a more of a what the possibilities are, not more of the history of it. And it talks about, the other thing that I noticed is the pictures. If you flip through, all of the scientists are Caucasian. There is no real racial diversity at all in the photographs, and there's a lot of really big scientific words, and there is a glossary in the back, very small print, difficult to read, and I'm not sure that the explanations make any more sense than the words they're defining. Also, the more about genetics, all of these are outdated information as well, and the index is also very tiny print and difficult to see. So I think this book should be weeded from the collection. I did notice there was one other book. Now, hereditary and genetics are not part of the curriculum, so these are just interest books if a student wants to learn more about science. And this book is also technically an older copyright date as well, although the picture's really cute on the front. The copyright date is 1987. But I wanted to check and see whether or not this belonged in the collection. The table of contents has larger print, the words are larger, and it has more of the chunking, more of the text features, a lot more pictures, and the pictures are racially diverse. Also, the information is about genetics that hasn't changed. Nothing has been disproven in this book. This is the basics that is more appropriate for the grade level in which is in this school. So, as well as the population. So I think that even though this is an older copyright date, I think it is still worth keeping. So I'm going to put it back on the shelf. But I wanted to show one more thing that I think could replace this book. And but I have to go to the computer to show you. So Capstone is a publishing company that we use quite a bit in the Media Center, and we just discovered that they're promoting their ebooks, and it's a great opportunity. When the Media Center purchases a title, they purchase the title forever. It's not something we need to renew, and that title can be used by the entire school all at once. So a classroom of 30 kids sitting at their Chromebook could be reading the same book at their own speed at the same time, and yet we've only purchased the book once in the Media Center rather than having to buy a set of 30, which is a big cost saving. You can do lots of different kinds of searches. So I typed in jeans, I found a Max Axiom book. It gives you the ISBN number. The copyright is 2010. It's still, it's close to that 5-year mark of evaluation, but it's still relevant information and it's still within the 5 years. So I think it's safe. Grade level range, right on target. And then it also gives the Lexile and how long it takes for it to read for you, and a lot of other information. So I'm going to show you some of the nice features about this. You can click down here and see the table of contents so you know exactly what you're about to get into. You can click here and get to the glossary, which has, it's far more interesting. There's music, which is nice. And the other thing is
Decoding Jeans by Amber J. Kaiser, PhD. Illustrated by Todd G. Smith and Al Milgram.
The thing I like about it is
Genes and Heredity.
It highlights the words as it reads, and so the student can follow along. So when it gets into the places where, and then, I'm going to pause it. When it gets to the places where there's big scientific words, an actor, not a computer voice, but an actor is actually reading them and pronouncing them correctly so that the students are both hearing and seeing the word at the same time. I think that's excellent. The other thing is that it reads it's a lot going on the page, and so it might be too much stimulation for some students, but it might be very attractive to a lot of other students, especially those who like, graphic novels and gaming and things like that. But it still has the text features so that it pulls out and shows the different information that is very important to highlight what is being talked about on the page.
Individuals can look
really
different.
The visual.
Only some of these puppies look like their mom. Each puppy has a different set of genes.
How the mom has, 2 different colors, sets of cards, the father has 2 different sets of cards, and so then the kids have all of the different cards. It's a really nice visual for elementary school students. And as I said, the glossary is easier to understand. So my recommendation would be to replace the old book with this new ebook. It has the glossary, it has internet sites to find out more information, and it has other print books that are in the later 2000s that are more current and have better information. So that's my recommendation.